All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Daily welcome. It's another beautiful day in Texas, and we're back with our 2004 Kawasaki Prairie 700. And today I'm gonna show you the things to make this sucker bulletproof for the trail. And it's all simple stuff that you can probably do yourself. If not, you can find a cat like me that'll do it for a fair price. But know what you're getting into. All right, so here we go. Today we're going to mainly focus on, we're going to put new spark plugs. See, I've got my crazy little spark plug wrench. I did leave this piece off because it's going to be easier to get the other spark plug out. I did take this off and took the battery out, and we went over that in a previous video. And you can see that the air box is all cleaned up. I did have to, on this bike, I did have to remove the carbs and clean them and put them back on. And I do recommend you have somebody that really knows what they're doing to do that. These carburetors, they're the ones that have the coolant lines that goes through them. Other things that I've done here, okay, this is just sitting here. My bad, guys. Okay, spark plug number 2 is right here, right there. So let's go ahead and let's change out the spark plugs. We'll go over everything else we've done to this, and be right back. All right, maybe. I can barely see. There's my fingers. There we go. Pop that off. I got my crazy special spark plug wrench here. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, get in there. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, I got a special trick. It's in an awkward spot. I got a little piece of tubing here. I'll tell you what this I actually this came off eBay. It's supposed to be fuel line, but it is definitely not for fuel. I tried to use it for fuel line once, and it ballooned up. But here we go. I'm going to pop this right onto the top of that spark plug. Need a cameraman. Okay, see this? I'm pushing it down, right? And now I just twist the tube. Twist the tube, twist the tube. You're not ratcheting it all day long. And come on, baby. Come on, you super long threaded son of a gun. So I'll show you right there. You see there's a new fuel line. I did put made in the USA fuel line on it because that's one of the things that I ran into, that they were all cracked and bad. I'll show them to you here in a second. But son of a gun, is this thing even turning? Holy smokes. Batman. All right, there we go. Now we'll take a look at this plug. That is dark, baby. Been running rich. It should look like chocolate milk right there, and it'd be perfect. Okay, like a frappuccino, but it looks a black. So there's plug number 1. It's out. Gap this plug accordingly. I've gapped this plug accordingly. I'm going to slide it into my new made tool. You can put a little anise on there. I think I might actually do that real quick. Hold on. All right, now she's finger tight in there and spun in. Pull my little hooker doer off. Flip the ratchet. I cannot recommend enough. This crazy looking ratchet is perfect for stuff like this, because the handle shapes around into like a C or a J or a Z. Hold on. Now, 5 minutes later, A, make sure ratchet's going the right way, and B, these are some long-winded spark plugs, so I've been going for like, I don't know, a minute and a half here. Right when you think it's stripped out, or it's not going in the hole right, it'll snug up. Come on, baby, let's go. Okay. Finally. All right, there we go. We just want to crush the crush washer. We don't want to get all freaky with it, but right, that's all we need right there, baby. Now we're gonna put the boot back on, and I can barely see what I'm doing here. You're really gotta be guessing that we're this. All right, there we go. Number one. And number two, it's easier to see from right here. Come on, baby. Okay. I do have a pair of pliers that grab this dude to pull on it. Don't ever yank here, okay? All right, so we'll get that out of the way. Oh, I'm gonna need an extension for this side, but there's my crazy ratchet. All right, here we go. One extension, crazy ratchet. Now I think pull the ratchet off. Oh, my bad. My tube. I'll just stick that sucker down on there. Yeah, you can't see anything, guys. My bad. Let me get this one out. All right, spark plug number two again. That one's not so bad. It's still pretty black. Sooted up. Been in there too long. I did notice that in here it had an extra set of old spark plugs. So at least they're NGKs they're running. But a lot of that had to do with we had cracked fuel lines, which we replaced both of the fuel lines with some good made in USA fuel lines. The differential fluids, we went ahead and changed them. This guy's 19 millimeter. You're going to pop that off to check it. And then right here, that's going to be a 12 millimeter. That's your drain plug. This is the rear end, okay? The front end is very easy. Also, again, 19 millimeter, 12 millimeter. In the front, okay, here's the front. We're going to go around. This is the right-hand side. And right there is your 19 millimeter where you check it. I note also the CV boot is bad. I'll put that on my notes. There's your 19 millimeter. 19 millimeter with an extension out to here to check. And then underneath here, let's see, you've got one little 10 millimeter, and it's right there. Okay? You pull the 10 millimeter to drain, and you refill in the 19 right there. So we did that. I also pulled this lower radiator hose off, drained what fluid was in there, and topped it back off. The radiator fill is right here. And the last video, we went over the oil change, air filter change, and all that. And you can see all this is really cleaned up. Now I'll show you inside the air box next. Let's get this other spark plug in. Again, I already gapped it. All right, again, I'm going back to my little homemade thingy here. I'll set that. Yeah, we lose camera view there. So to get it started, just set it down in there. I'm not trying to force anything. I just start spinning this sucker. It's kind of hard to get the ratchet and the extension the right length and everything in there. So this is just a little trick that I use. Once it's finger tight, we're going to lock it in, finger tight. Okay, spark plug's locked in, the boot and everything here looks good. I'll put that back on. All right, now before I pop this back together, I would like to show you how the inside of the air box looks. Now, I did take all of this off. I hit it with some simple green and the water hose and let it dry out. And if you do that, be careful. There are little rubber gaskets on the underneath side of this and some other things that you got to really remember where everything goes. Like I said, these are the carburetors that have coolant that goes through them, which makes it a little bit more complicated. But I did take them off, reset them to factory settings, gave them a good scrubbing, and they didn't look terrible, but they were missing a screw, and a couple of the screws in the bowls were loose, and these lines were bad. The front brakes didn't work. However, now, boom, boom, we got front brakes. I had to clean the front calipers real good with brake clean and actuate them a couple times, pulled a vacuum, bled everything through. But if I do have to replace this line here, it's going to be a problem because this stuff's all rusted together now. I think that has to do with the rubber boot that sits right there. So there you have it. The tune-up is going well. I did also, whenever I had that off, the fuel lines off, I've got a little sucker and I just sucked all the gas out. It didn't look that bad, but I don't want to start out with anything less than some good 93 octane in this dude. All right, we can put this away and rock and roll. I'm going to pop this cover back on, a couple of other little things, and we'll be right back. All right, we've got this piece is back on, and it's really just this screw here that you have to take out, and there's a couple screws here, but they also hold in the battery. So we're gonna go ahead and hook the battery up, put it back to work. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but we'll get it done. That's sitting on there right. I like it. Positive side, we're gonna do the same way here. And I know normally I set up kind of a wide shot and kind of show what's going on with my work, but it's windy. And the last video I did, my tripod fell over and it broke the little thing that holds my phone, so I need another one. So there we have it. That sucker goes right like that. Then you got your battery hold down. Grab it. All right, battery hold down, 3 10mm. And while I had the battery off, I went ahead and gave it a good charging. This battery charged up good. It is an AGM, which is all right. It's got some age on it, but it's a decent battery. If I was going to have it out, I would definitely leave a battery maintainer on it. And if I didn't know how old it was, I'd probably go ahead and have a new one sitting on the shelf ready to go. Or just go ahead and replace it. Because we're already doing so much to this thing, I think we've already solved most of the major issues. And something like a battery, I think this gentleman can do on his own. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more piece in the seat to put on. In the next video, we're going to put some gas in it and actually hear it run. I haven't started it. It was running so bad before, guys. I didn't even really want to put it on film. You saw the condition of the air box. It was starting to eat itself. So I really had to clean all that out, pull the carbs off, and completely go through them and clean everything and put them back together. Even with new fuel lines, flushed out the fuel, serviced all of the fluids, and there you go, rock and roll. Other than a new set of tires that are due here probably in the next year or so, this thing ought to be golden. We'll check on valve adjustment and all that kind of stuff on the next video. This thing might be old, but it doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of hours on it, it doesn't seem. So let's put the seat on it and the last little cover, and I think we're done for the day, guys. All right, one last thing. We're gonna set the lock nut there, put the shifter handle back on, and there we have it. She's all back together. One last thing I'm going to do is check the air pressure in the tires. But again, now we have brakes, oil change, new air filter, carbs clean, new fuel lines, flushed out the cooling system, changed the differential fluids. We can get more into that on another one. I want to get this customer his four-wheeler back because I've already had a little bit too long. We had to wait on the spark plugs to come in. So I'll hopefully you found something helpful in this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Before you take your four-wheeler out on the ranch or out on the trails, these are some of the things that you might want to do to avoid you some big problems later. So all of you, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. All of you have a badass evening and an even better tomorrow. Rob Daly. Peace.